Hello, everyone. It's Adam with Fear No Evil, back with another Saturday security tip. Remember the days before caller ID? The phone would ring, we would have no idea who was on the other end. It was a wild and crazy time. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Could be the last person in the world you wanted to talk to, but there you were, stuck talking to them because we didn't have caller ID. There's no way to screen it. But now we got caller ID. That phone rings, and we look at it and we go, I don't know that person. I'm not answering that call. Yeah, and sometimes we even swipe it off and kind of hang up or whatever, and so they know immediately that call was rejected. It goes to voicemail, and so the way I do it with strange numbers is, if I don't know and I just let it go. If they leave a message, then maybe it's important, but if they don't leave a message, I figure it's probably unwanted solicitation, so I'm not interested. But anyway, we screen our calls now. It's not like the old days where we just answer the phone and find out. And you remember email? We used to just open every email with wild abandon and click on every link. And oh boy, there's this nice prince in Nigeria, and he wants to send me a lot of money. I just need to help him out a little bit. Give him some banking information, and he's going to put some money in my account. And uh, crazy times. But now we think before we link. We don't even open those emails. We're like, ooh, how do I delete that without opening it? We don't get into that kind of thing anymore. We've come a long way. But even though we've learned to screen our calls and think before we link, and we don't open suspicious emails, some people still, there's a knock at the door and they just swing that wide open. They don't even look through the peephole or through the window or say, who is it? They just hear a knock and they go open the door. We should learn some things about our phone and email behavior. We can even learn from those three little pigs. They had some good things in place. They were good at identifying friend from foe, right? So the wolf come up and he said, little pig, let me in. And they're like, no, you're a wolf. You don't belong in here. I'm not opening the door for you. So they had that in place, and that was good. They said, you know what? Our door to our home is an entry control point, and we're going to control. Once we identify who's out there, we're going to decide whether to let them in or not. And if they look like a bad guy, they're staying on the outside. And so those little pigs had that going for them. They were good with that. So they were going to identify friend from foe. They're going to deny entry. The wolf said, let me in. They said, no. Well, they said a little bit fancier than that. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. So evidently they had nice beards, those little pigs. So they used their structure to their advantage. And the story, one's house was straw, one's was made out of sticks, and the other one was made out of bricks. And that held up a lot better. So we can learn from that, have a good strong home, and have a good sturdy door that we control. But use your structure to their advantage. But here's where they failed. They didn't have an option. Once their identification drill was implemented, and they tried to enact some entry control and rely upon their sturdy structure. Once all that failed, they didn't have any other option. So it should have been, hey, you can try to, huff and puff and blow my house down, but I don't recommend it. But because once you get in here, you're going to get buckshot instead of bacon. So just go on down the road and don't try to break into my house. So that's something that we can also learn from those little pigs. We're talking about keeping the wolf out, and so we can learn from that. There's people out there that don't need entry into our homes, and we need to figure out how to identify the good guys from the bad guys. Now, I'm not talking about your neighbor that that's friendly, family members, friends, coworkers, people from your house of worship, whatever. Trusted people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just random people approaching your door, knocking on your door, coming up your driveway, whatever. You need to figure out, hey, do I want them around? Do I even want to talk to them? And so here's some things to consider. Your door is an entry control point. So it's your home, your door. You decide who comes in or out. So not everybody that knocks on your door deserves entry into your home. And not even every knock deserves a response. It is perfectly okay for you to just stay in your house and act like you didn't hear that knock at the door. Like when my kids were smaller, if I went out for a little bit, I would tell them, let the dog answer the door. Because I didn't, one of the things they do is try to get a lot of information. Oh, is your dad home? Is your husband home? And they start fishing for information. And I don't need my kids getting tripped up by an adult who, is a predator posing in sheep's clothing. And so I'd say, just let the dog answer the door. There's a knock on the door, and the dog's like, and that was all the information that the potential wolf on the other side got. He got the information that, not an easy target. I probably ought to go. So not only is your door an entry control point that you need to control, it's an information control point. Not every question asked at your door deserves an answer. In fact, you are the one that should be getting the information, not the person on the outside. So, beware of, people with clipboards coming up saying, oh, my company's in the area and we're doing windows or we're doing alarms and, how long you been here? How many people live here? Do you have an alarm system? Don't be answering questions like that. If they come up, you might not even answer the door, or your conversation may be, no thanks, have a nice day. Don't be aware that there are people that masquerade as, they're a legitimate business just so they can come and find out if your home is an easy target and if there's things in there that they want. Also, beware of false urgency. Oh, my truck full of frozen steaks broke down and I gotta sell them, real quick. Or, my vehicle broke down and I don't have a phone. Can I come in and use your phone? Really? Do people not have phones these days? I kind of doubt it. It kind of seems like a scam to me. I would view that very suspiciously if I were you. My response would be, oh, I'm sorry to hear about your emergency. I'll call 911 for you. And they'll probably, oh, no, never mind. It's okay. And, turn tail and go away. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, your door has a lock, so use it, right? And if you have an alarm system, there's two modes for that, armed stay and armed away. So when you're in your home, you want to have it armed also. It should be set for armed stay, which activates everything except for your motion detector because you'd set that off, right? So have it on armed stay and have your door locked, and don't necessarily answer every knock at the door. Certainly don't just fling your door open and be surprised. Just like in firearms, we don't shoot until we've identified the target and said, yep, that guy right there needs a bullet in him. And so I'm going to pull the trigger. So target identification is key. So in a similar way, knocks on your door, you need to identify and positively ID a friend before you go opening the door or giving out information. So keeping the wolf out. I had thoughts about going down every little scenario and being very elaborate, but I thought I should just give you the highlights and share some good information out there, but I don't want to give away the farm, because what I'm really after is people hiring me and having me come out and do a home security assessment. I have a lot more to share. And so if you're interested in that, check out fearnoevil.us. Hope this has been a informative and helpful conversation. You stay safe. We'll see you back here next week.